Three mistakes that I made in my manifestation journey so that you don't have to. Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I will share three of the big mistakes that I made when I first started getting into the concept of manifestation. When I look back, I can see that me making these mistakes was absolutely needed because later in my life, when I started teaching people and talking about the concept of manifestation, self help, mindset, dating, relationships, love, money, all these areas, that if I wouldn't have made these mistakes, I wouldn't have been able to teach these things to you because these mistakes can be very, very tricky. They can take you into this hole where you feel that I'm doing everything right, but then you aren't. It's back and forth. There is a wave of emotions. So stay till the end. You will learn a lot of it in this, you will learn a lot of things in this video. You will be able to understand this for yourself and you will be able to apply that in your life. So mistake number one that I made in my manifestation journey so that you don't have to is I never let go. So I remember when I was younger and I used to talk with one of my cousins and she was a psychologist. So at that time when I used to talk to her, we used to talk a lot about letting go. And she used to believe in the concept of manifestation as well. And I was very, very young at that time. And when she used to tell me about the concept of manifestation, I did not used to grasp any of it. But she used to emphasize a lot on letting go, right? And she used to tell me that a lot of times we try to take control and we feel that we are taking control, but it's actually just our fear talking. And later, when I actually experienced this in my own self, in my own life, and now when I coach people, it's very, very apparent, and you can easily see how a lot of times you just aren't able to let go. And we feel it is because we are taking control, but it isn't. When my journey started, I was constantly trying to do multiple things. So I have talked about it before that previously, when I got into this, I come from a lot of insecurity and anxiety. And I had faced severe relationship issues, right? So when I was in this zone, I used to constantly try new things, right? I always used to tell myself that I'm taking control, but it wasn't that. And I used to pretend that it is me doing something different. So I used to, watch these dating videos. And at that time, I used to feel that, I need to take control. I will do this. I will wear this kind of clothes. I will talk this way. I will behave this way. If she texts me this, I will text her back this. If she says this, I will say her back this. I will walk in a different manner so that she feels I'm this cool person and everything. Unfortunately, they were all attempts coming out of insecurity. I was constantly doing things out of insecurity. It was all because I never felt enough. It was all because I felt that I needed to do all these things in order for a girl to like me, right? And I constantly tried to do these things. I also did this with manifestation techniques at the start. I would try different techniques all the time. Sometimes I would just affirm, sometimes I would visualize, then I would do vision boards, then I would script. I have these books in my cupboard. There are these huge books where I've scripted the same thing, 15 pages daily. I used to be obsessive with it. And I used to come from this hustler's mindset that the more you do, the better it is. And I used to tell myself, you're taking control of your life, you're doing all these things, it's getting better. And I used to constantly think that, I'm doing all these things, why isn't it working out for me? Because I would never let go. All my actions were insecurity based. And a lot of times I see clients doing this. A lot of times I see people chasing, stalking, constantly texting their SP, constantly doing all these things, changing techniques, changing coaches, jumping from one video to the other. And we tell ourselves that we are doing it because of confidence or that we are doing it because we are taking control. But it just comes out of a fear that if we don't do different things, we won't get what we want. It's the fear of letting go that keeps us stuck in this place. I was also afraid to start a new life. So I was just afraid to stop thinking about this person because I thought that if I stop thinking about her, I will never get her or I will never get anyone to like me. So I need to constantly think about her. And the unfortunate thing about this was that there were a few moments where I was able to let go, right? I got to this place where I was just about to let go. But because I thought that if I don't think about this person, I will never be loved or I will never get anyone to like me, I used to constantly pull myself back. This used to happen with all desires. When I stopped thinking about it, I used to find that topic somewhere. I used to tell myself, no, you cannot afford to stop thinking about it, because if you stop thinking about it, you will not get it. And then I used to pull myself back, right? And I used to get obsessed again. Separation of tasks is very important. Just think about this way. Let's say you give your parent or someone that you trust a task, right? And then you try to do that task for them. How would they feel? The same way your subconscious feels about you when you constantly try to take charge of everything instead of letting your subconscious, source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, take control. So we all have our tasks. My task is to focus on what I want, focus on the resistance that comes up, take action aligned to it, and then let go. Right? The how is not my job. The middle part is not my job. How things will take care of themselves is not my job. When will it happen is not my job. And if I don't let my subconscious take care of it, then how will it do its job? I cannot do the work for my subconscious for it. Right? I will need to do my task and I will need to let go. So don't make this mistake that I made. Focus on letting go. Make this an integral part of your life, because the more you can let go, and you will see this all the time, the more you detach, the faster the results come. The next thing that I did, which you don't have to do, is that I wasn't very honest with myself. So at the start of my journey, and I learned this pretty quickly, but this impacted me a lot. At the start of my journey, I used to make myself believe what I wanted to make myself believe, even if a lot of times it was wrong. We all do this at some point in our life when we want to make ourselves believe something. So let's say if I want to drink coffee, I can easily find out 10 things that tell me drinking coffee is good. If I don't want to drink coffee, I can easily find out 10 things that drinking coffee is not good. When I was doing something wrong, let's say chasing, right? I used to constantly just justify it to myself by telling myself that, you know what, you're not chasing, this is just inspired action. And then I used to create these arguments in my mind where I used to convince myself that even if I'm doing something wrong, it's for a good cause, it's leading me where I want to go, it's getting me better, and all these things. When I look back, and if I was just honest with myself at that time, it was because of desperation. It was because of desperation. So as soon as I started being honest with myself, I could actually evaluate things the best, because I was able to see that, you know what, these are the things I'm doing wrong. These are the things I'm doing okay. These are the things I'm doing good, right? I'm very consistent, which is a good thing about me, but maybe I can focus a little bit more on letting go, as I said. Or maybe I shouldn't be texting this person this much. Maybe I should wear the clothes that I want to wear instead of things that I think this girl will like, and do all these things, right? So eventually, the more honest I became with myself, at the start it was slightly hurtful, because no one wants to accept that they might be doing something wrong, right? We just want to be right. Our ego always wants to be right. But if we accept it, sometimes it helps, because as soon as we accept it, we are able to see what changes we can make that can get us better, what changes we can make that can get us closer to our goal. So being honest with yourself from the starting point is very, very important. Now, there is a catch to this. A lot of times we genuinely don't see what we are doing wrong, and that is okay. There is a time that you will find out, right? As soon as you find out, correct it. Because what happens is, if we have made a mistake for a long period of time, even if we find out it's a mistake, we somehow still keep making it so that we can justify the time we have spent making it. So that later I can say that, oh, I have spent a year doing this. I want to justify that year, right? So I will keep on doing this in hopes that I will correct it later. No, I need to correct it now, because that year was not wasted. That year got me here. And now I'm able to apply it and change it in my life. So be honest with yourself. It is absolutely important. The last mistake that I made, which you don't have to, is that I never focused on my self-concept at the start. I shared this video a while back where I talked about how I got out of unhealthy relationships and manifested a beautiful one. One thing that absolutely helped me was self-concept work. In my clients, I have so many success stories that I post. I think bi-weekly I post a success story here. Once every 2 weeks. I think that is what bi-weekly means. I post one success story every week on my Instagram. I have 13 success story highlights. None of these people have gotten their success stories without self-concept work. There is no substitute to working on yourself. It doesn't exist. You can tell yourself that it does, because again, it's you not being honest with yourself. You can tell yourself that it does. You can focus on multiple techniques, do 10, 50,000 affirmations, try to get this desire without working on yourself. And again, we justify things to ourselves. So we tell ourselves that, you know what, this person did this without focusing on themselves. This person did that without focusing on themselves. So why do I have to? Because you want sustainable results. That's why you have to. If you're not looking for sustainable results, this process is not for you, because you will get results and they will go away. What will be the point of it? No point, right? If I had to do it all over again, the first thing that I will focus on for myself would be self concept work, because I know not only will it get me my results faster, but as soon as I get them, I won't lose them. So I really hope that these three mistakes that I made can stop you from making these and that you can learn from this. And I hope that you apply this in your life. I will see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.